My name is Sarah, and I'm 28 years old. I work as a second-grade teacher at Riverside Elementary in Toronto, and I'm a single mom to the most incredible 6-year-old girl named Emma. Life hasn't always been easy, but Emma and I have built something beautiful together, just the two of us. I grew up as the younger sister in what I thought was a normal family. My older sister Jessica was always the star. She was the one who got the fancy university education, the corporate job, the Instagram-perfect life. I was the quiet one, the teacher, the one who chose a simple path. Mom and Dad never said it outright, but I could feel it in every family gathering. Jessica's accomplishments mattered more. Her engagement party, her promotion, her holiday in France. My life was just there. Background noise. When I got pregnant at 22 with Emma, I thought things might change. I thought my parents would rally around me, especially after Emma's father left before she was even born. Instead, I got lectures about choices and responsibility. Jessica got champagne toasts for landing a new client. I got disappointed silences. But Emma changed everything for me. From the moment she was born, with her tiny fingers wrapped around mine, I knew I'd do anything for her. I finished my teaching degree whilst working nights at a cafe, Emma sleeping in a carrier strapped to my chest during study sessions. We moved into a small flat in East York. Nothing fancy, but it was ours. Every corner filled with Emma's artwork. Every surface covered in her stories and dreams. Emma started ballet when she was 4. She'd twirl around our flat in her little pink leotard, narrating elaborate stories about fairy princesses and enchanted forests. When she got accepted into the Junior Performing Arts Academy's program, I cried. It cost nearly every spare dollar I had, but watching her face light up during those Saturday classes made every extra shift worth it. This past spring, Emma had her first big recital. Not just a casual class demonstration, but a proper show at the Street Lawrence Center for the Arts. She'd been practicing for months, perfecting her routine as one of the little swans in their version of Swan Lake. She talked about it constantly. "Mummy, do you think Nana and Granddad will come? Will Aunt Jessica come? I want everyone to see me dance." I sent the invitation 6 weeks in advance. I texted Mum, Dad, and Jessica. I even mailed physical invitations that Emma had decorated herself with glitter and stickers. "Please come watch me dance. Love," Emma in her careful printing. The responses came slowly. Mum said they'd try their best. Dad said, "We'll see what we can do." Jessica read the message and didn't reply for 3 days. When she finally did. "Sounds cute. Probably can't make it though. Work is insane right now." I pushed down the familiar disappointment. I tried to prepare Emma gently. "They're very busy, sweetheart. But I'll be there, and that's what matters most." "But I made them special invitations," she said, her bottom lip trembling. The day of the recital arrived. Emma was electric with excitement. I helped her with her makeup, just a touch of pink blush and lipstick, the way the instructor showed us. Her white tutu was perfect, her hair pulled back in the tightest bun I could manage. She looked like an actual little swan. We got to the theater early. Emma kept peeking through the curtains. "Are they here yet, Mummy?" "Not yet, love. But there's still time." There wasn't time. The lights dimmed. The show started. I sat in my seat, phone on silent, checking obsessively. No messages. No missed calls. The entire row I'd reserved 6 seats sat empty, except for me and Emma's best friend Lily's family, who'd kindly moved over to sit with me so it wouldn't look so barren. When Emma's performance came, she was magnificent. She hit every mark, every gesture perfect. I recorded it on my phone, tears streaming down my face, partly from pride, partly from heartbreak. After her bow, I saw her scanning the audience from the stage, her little face falling when she spotted all those empty seats. Backstage, she ran to me. "Did I do okay, Mummy?" "You were perfect, my darling. Absolutely perfect. Did they come? Did Nana see me?" I crouched down to her level. "No, sweetheart. They couldn't make it. But I saw you, and you were the most beautiful swan in the entire show." She nodded, trying to be brave, but I saw the tears she was fighting back. My heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. That night, after I'd tucked Emma into bed, and she'd finally cried herself to sleep, asking why her family didn't think she was important, I sat in my kitchen drinking tea and staring at my phone. No apologies, no messages, nothing. The next morning, I woke up to a text from Jessica. Not an apology, not even an acknowledgement that she'd missed Emma's recital. "Hey, so I'm getting married. Can you believe it? Brad finally proposed. We're doing a destination bachelorette party in Cabo San Lucas next month. I'm sending you the details. It's going to be incredible. I stared at the message, my tea growing cold in my hands. 10 minutes later, another text, this one longer. So the total cost per person is $4,500. That covers the resort, activities, meals, and the party supplies. I know it's a bit much, but it's my special day and you're my sister. Mom and Dad already said yes. I need your confirmation by Friday so I can finalize the booking. Can't wait to celebrate with you. $4,500 for a party. For the sister who couldn't be bothered to drive 20 minutes to watch her niece's dance recital. I sat there, reading it again and again. My hands started shaking not from sadness this time, but from anger. Pure, white-hot anger. I thought about Emma's face when she realized her family hadn't come. I thought about the empty seats. I thought about every single time I'd been made to feel like my life, my choices, my daughter didn't matter as much as Jessica's career milestones or holiday plans. I opened my banking app. I had about $8,000 in my savings money I'd been setting aside for Emma's education, for emergencies, for the future I was trying to build for us. Then I did something I'd never done before. I opened the message thread and typed, "Congratulations on your engagement. I won't be able to attend the Bachelorette party. I have a prior commitment that weekend. It's called being present for my daughter, something you might not be familiar with. But I'd still like to contribute to your celebration." I sent an e-transfer. $1. In the message field, I wrote, "For your Bachelorette party, may you have all the support you showed Emma at her recital. Best wishes for your future." And I pressed send. The response was immediate. My phone started ringing within 30 seconds. Jessica. I declined the call. It rang again. Declined. Then the texts started flooding in. "Are you serious right now? You sent me $1? This is so disrespectful, Sarah. I can't believe you're this petty. Mom and Dad are going to hear about this." I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb and went to make Emma breakfast. She came padding into the kitchen in her unicorn pajamas, still looking a bit sad. "Morning, baby girl," I said, pulling her into a hug. "Morning, Mummy. How about we do something special today? Just us two. Maybe that new ice cream place you've been wanting to try?" Her face brightened a little. "Really? Really? You're my favorite person in the whole world, Emma. I hope you know that." She hugged me tighter. "You're my favorite too, Mummy." My phone vibrated constantly throughout breakfast, but I ignored it. We went out, just Emma and me, and spent the day doing her favorite things: the ice cream shop, the park, the bookstore where I let her pick out 2 new books instead of our usual one. Every time my phone buzzed, I felt more certain I'd made the right choice. That evening, after Emma was in bed reading her new books, I finally checked my phone. 63 messages. 63. Most were from Jessica, escalating from disbelief to rage. But there were also messages from Mum. "Sarah, Jessica called me very upset. What's this about sending her $1? That's incredibly childish. She's your sister. I raised you better than this. You need to apologize and send her the proper amount. This is her wedding. Your father and I are very disappointed in you. Nothing about the recital. Nothing about Emma. Nothing about the 6 empty seats or my daughter's tears." I typed out a reply to my mother. "You're disappointed in me? I invited you to Emma's first major dance recital, 6 weeks in advance. I sent texts, calls, and hand-decorated invitations from your granddaughter. None of you came. Not one." Emma cried herself to sleep, asking why her family doesn't think she's important. But now Jessica wants $4,500 for a party in Mexico. And suddenly I'm the family villain for saying no? I'm done being the one who bends over backwards for a family that can't be bothered to show up for a 6-year-old's dance performance. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. The response came within minutes. "That's completely different. The recital was just a children's dance class. Jessica's bachelorette party is a once-in-a-lifetime event. You're being selfish and holding grudges. Emma will have many more recitals. Jessica only gets married once." I read it 3 times, each time feeling something crack inside me. Emma's milestone months of practice, her first big performance, her moment to shine was just a children's dance class. But Jessica's party? That was sacred. I didn't reply. Instead, I blocked Jessica's number. Not Mum and Dad's yet, but Jessica's. I needed peace. The next few days were quiet. Too quiet. I should have known it wouldn't last. On Thursday afternoon, I was in the middle of teaching my class. We were doing a lesson on Canadian geography, and the kids were coloring maps when there was a knock on my classroom door. I glanced up, expecting maybe the principal or another teacher. Instead, Jessica walked in. Into my classroom, during school hours, in front of 23 7-year-olds. "Sarah, we need to talk," she announced, her voice sharp and her face flushed. My students' heads swiveled between us like they were watching a tennis match. "Jessica, I'm teaching right now," I said, keeping my voice calm and steady. "This isn't appropriate. Neither is disrespecting your sister and embarrassing her in front of her fiancé's family," she shot back. One of my students, Marcus, raised his hand. "Miss Sarah, is that your sister?" "Class, please continue coloring your maps," I said gently. Then I walked to the door, stepped into the hallway, and pulled it mostly closed behind me. "What are you doing here?" "What am I doing here? What are you doing, Sarah? $1? Really? You're trying to humiliate me?" "I'm not trying to humiliate you. I simply can't afford to spend $4,500 on a party, and even if I could, I wouldn't. You couldn't be bothered to come to Emma's recital, but you expect me to drop everything and spend thousands of dollars on your bachelorette party? That recital was weeks ago. Are you still on about that?" "Weeks ago," I repeated softly. "It was 11 days ago, Jessica. 11 days since my daughter cried because her aunt, her grandparents, her family didn't think she was worth showing up for. Oh, come on, she's 6. She'll forget about it." Something snapped inside me. "Get out." "What?" "Get out of my school. You don't get to come to my workplace, interrupt my class, and tell me my daughter's feelings don't matter. I need you to leave. Now. I'm not leaving until you agree to pay your share for the party. Mom and Dad think you're being ridiculous. Brad's family is asking questions. Do you know how embarrassing this is for me?" I pulled out my phone and opened the video I'd recorded at Emma's recital. I turned it to face Jessica. "Watch this." "I don't have time to." "Watch it." She glanced at the screen. Emma, in her little swan costume, dancing her heart out. You could see her eyes scanning the audience, see the moment her face fell when she realized no one was there. "See that moment?" I said quietly. "That's when she realized you didn't come. None of you. That's the moment my daughter learned that her family's love is conditional, that she's not worth 60 minutes of your time. But a party? That's worth $4,500 of mine?" Jessica's face hardened. "You're being manipulativa." "I'm being honest. For the first time in my life, I'm being honest about how this family works. Emma and I are an afterthought. We always have been. But I'm done pretending that's okay. If you don't pay for the party, you're not invited to the wedding." The threat hung in the air between us. "Okay," I said simply. "Okay? That's it? That's it. I don't want to be somewhere I'm not valued. Emma and I will be just fine without a family that can't be bothered to show up for her, but demands we show up for them." Jessica's mouth opened and closed like a fish. You're actually serious?" "I am. Now please leave before I have to ask security to escort you out." She stared at me for a long moment, then spun on her heel and stormed down the hallway. I watched her go, my heart pounding, my hands trembling. When I returned to my classroom, 23 pairs of eyes were staring at me with concern. "Miss Sarah, are you okay?" asked Sophie, one of my sweetest students. I took a deep breath and smiled. "I'm okay, Sophie. Thank you for asking. Now, who can tell me which province is the largest in Canada?" That evening, after I'd picked Emma up from after-school care and we'd had dinner, my phone rang. Dad. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Sarah Ann, what on earth has gotten into you?" No hello. No asking how Emma and I were doing. "Hello, Dad. Your sister is beside herself. Your mother is upset. This whole thing with the dollar and the bachelorette party, it's gone too far. You need to apologize and send the money." "Did Emma tell you about her recital?" I asked. Silence. "Dad, did Emma tell you about her dance recital? About how she practiced for 3 months? About how she made you a special invitation with glitter?" "Sarah, that's not..." "Did you know she cried herself to sleep that night? That she asked me why her family doesn't love her enough to watch her dance?" "Don't be dramatic. We love Emma. We were just busy. Too busy for 60 minutes. But you found time to commit to a week-long party in Mexico that costs $4,500. That's different. That's family obligation. Showing up for your 6-year-old granddaughter's first recital isn't a family obligation?" More silence. "Here's the thing, Dad. I'm done. I'm done being the daughter whose life doesn't matter as much. I'm done raising a child who learns that her worth is less than her aunt's party. I'm done pretending that this is normal or okay. You're being selfish. Maybe I am, but for once, I'm choosing Emma. I'm choosing us. And if that makes me selfish, then I'll be selfish. If you keep this up, You're going to lose your family. I felt tears pricking my eyes, but my voice stayed steady. I already lost my family, Dad. I lost them every time they chose not to show up. Every time they made it clear that Emma and I aren't the priority. I'm just finally accepting what's always been true. Sarah, I need to go. Emma needs help with her homework. Goodbye, Dad. I hung up. Then I blocked his number too. And Mum's. My hands were shaking so badly I nearly dropped the phone. Emma appeared in the doorway. Mummy, why are you crying? I quickly wiped my eyes. Just grown-up stuff, baby. Nothing for you to worry about. She climbed into my lap, even though she was getting too big for it. Was that about the recital? My heart clenched. Sort of. It's okay that they didn't come, Mummy. You were there. That's what mattered. I held her tight, breathing in the strawberry scent of her shampoo. You're right. And I will always be there. Always. I promise you that. I know, she said simply, with the absolute trust only a child can have. That weekend, I took Emma to the lawyer's office. Not because I wanted to sue anyone or cause more drama, but because I needed to protect us. I had the deed to our flat looked at, made sure my will was updated so Emma would be taken care of if anything happened to me, and started the process of ensuring Mum and Dad had no legal claims to make decisions about Emma. The lawyer, a kind woman named Patricia Chen, listened to the whole story. You're doing the right thing, she said. Protecting your daughter from toxic dynamics is always the right choice, even when it's family. It doesn't feel right. It feels awful. That's because you're a good person. Good people feel guilty about setting boundaries, but boundaries aren't punishment, they're protection. I left her office feeling lighter somehow, like I'd taken control of something I'd been letting control me. The following Monday at school, my principal, Mrs. Rodriguez, called me into her office. My heart sank. Had Jessica complained? Was I in trouble for the hallway confrontation? Sarah, please sit down, she said, gesturing to a chair. I sat, my hands clasped in my lap. I wanted to talk to you about something. We're expanding our special education department next year, and we need someone to head up the new inclusive learning program. It comes with a significant pay increase and a more flexible schedule. I immediately thought of you. I blinked. You're offering me a promotion? I am. Your dedication to your students is extraordinary, Sarah. The way you create such a warm, supportive environment in your classroom, that's exactly what we need leading this program. You'd still teach part-time, but you'd also be training other teachers and developing curriculum. I don't know what to say. Say yes. The pay increase is about $15,000 annually, and the flexible schedule means you could arrange your hours around Emma's school day more easily. More time with your daughter, more money, more professional development. I can't think of anyone more deserving. I felt tears welling up again, but this time they were happy tears. Yes, absolutely yes. Thank you so much. She smiled. You earned this, Sarah. Your work speaks for itself. That evening, I told Emma about the promotion over pizza, our celebratory meal. Does this mean we can get a puppy? She asked hopefully. I laughed, the first real laugh I'd had in weeks. Maybe. Let's see. But it does mean I can afford to put you in that advanced ballet program you wanted. Her eyes went wide. Really? The one at the National Ballet School? Really. She squealed and hugged me so tight I thought my ribs might crack. This is the best day ever. I hugged her back, thinking about everything that had happened. The recital, the dollar, the confrontations, the blocked numbers. And now, somehow, this new beginning. That night, after Emma was asleep, I sat on my couch with a cup of tea and thought about Patricia's words. Boundaries aren't punishment, they're protection. I pulled out my phone and started typing a message, but not to my family, to myself. A note I'd keep and read whenever I doubted my choices. You chose your daughter. You chose peace. You chose to stop accepting crumbs and calling it love. You chose to teach Emma that she deserves people who show up, who value her, who make her a priority. That's not selfish, that's survival. That's love. 3 weeks passed. The Bachelorette party came and went. I saw the photos on social media. Mum and Dad must have paid my share, or Jessica covered it herself. They all looked happy, toasting with colorful drinks on a beach, the sunset painting everything golden. I felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, not regret. Just nothing. Emma and I spent that weekend at Niagara Falls, something we'd always talked about doing. She was mesmerized by the water, by the rainbows in the mist, by the boat ride that got us soaked and laughing. We stayed in a modest hotel, and ate butter tarts from a local bakery. "This is better than any party," Emma said, her face sticky with butter tart filling. "You know what? I think you're right." On the drive home, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. I almost didn't check it, but curiosity got the better of me at a red light. "Hi Sarah, this is Patricia Chen, your lawyer. I wanted to let you know that your parents' lawyer contacted our office attempting to claim grandparents' rights for visitation with Emma. I've responded that any further communication needs to go through me, and I've documented everything. You don't need to worry or respond to any direct contact from them. You're protected." My blood ran cold. They were trying to force visitation? After everything? But then I looked in the rearview mirror at Emma, who was singing along to the radio, completely carefree. Patricia was right. I was protected. We were protected. I replied, "Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate you." The anger I thought I'd moved past flared up again, hot and fierce. But underneath it was something stronger resolve. They could try to manipulate, to guilt, to threaten, but they couldn't reach us anymore. I'd built a wall around Emma and me, not to keep us imprisoned, but to keep us safe. That evening, I made a decision. I opened my laptop and started typing an email to my family, one I'd send through Patricia so there'd be a legal record. "I've spent my entire life trying to earn your love and approval. I thought if I was patient enough, understanding enough, if I just kept showing up and being there for all of you, eventually you'd show up for me too, for Emma too. I was wrong. The truth is, you've shown me exactly who you are and what I mean to you, and I've finally decided to believe you. Emma and I deserve a family that celebrates us, not just tolerates us. We deserve people who show up, who value us, who make us feel loved not as an afterthought but as a priority. You've made your choices clear, and now I'm making mine. Please don't contact me directly anymore. Any necessary communication can go through my lawyer. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done. I hope you find happiness. Emma and I already have." I read it 3 times, then sent it to Patricia to review before forwarding it on my behalf. She replied within an hour. "Powerful and clear. I'll send it tomorrow morning." "You're doing great, Sarah." Truly. The next few weeks were quieter than I expected. No messages broke through. No family showed up at my door or workplace. Patricia sent one update. They'd received the email and replied through their lawyer that they respected my wishes, but were deeply hurt by my accusations. I felt a tiny pang of guilt, but then I remembered Emma's face at the recital. The empty seats, the tears, the guilt disappeared. Life started to find a new rhythm. My new role at school was challenging but rewarding. Emma thrived in her advanced ballet program. Her teacher said she had real talent, that with work, she might even qualify for the professional program at 14. We made new traditions, just the two of us. Saturday morning pancakes, where we'd make funny faces with the chocolate chips. Sunday evening movie nights where Emma got to pick, even if it meant watching Frozen for the 100th time. We started volunteering at the local animal shelter, partly because Emma loved the dogs, partly because I wanted her to see that family isn't just about blood, it's about showing up and caring for others. One afternoon, about 2 months after I'd sent that final email, Emma and I were at the park. She was on the swings, pumping her legs to go higher, when an older woman sat on the bench next to me. "Your daughter is beautiful," she said. "Thank you," I replied, smiling. "I'm a grandmother to 4, she continued. "I can't imagine missing a single one of their performances, their games, their big moments. They grow up so fast." Something in her tone made me glance at her. She was watching Emma with a wistful expression. "You're very lucky," I said. "So are they. Family is everything, isn't it? Being there for each other." I nodded, feeling that familiar ache. "Yes. Being there is everything." Emma ran over, breathless and grinning. "Mummy, did you see how high I went?" "I did, baby. You were practically flying." The woman smiled at both of us. "You two remind me of my daughter and granddaughter. Same energy. You can tell you're close." "We're best friends," Emma announced proudly. "That's the best kind of family," the woman said, standing up. "The kind you choose every single day." After she left, I thought about her words. The kind you choose every single day. That's what Emma and I were, a family we chose, every single day. Not by default, not by obligation, but by genuine love and commitment. That night, as I tucked Emma into bed, she said something that made everything worth it. "Mummy, I'm glad it's just us. Is that bad?" "No, sweetheart. Why would that be bad?" "Because I'm supposed to miss Nana and Granddad and Aunt Jessica. But I don't. I like it being just us. We're happy. I smoothed her hair back from her forehead. We are happy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes the family we need isn't the family we're born into. Will they ever say sorry? I don't know, baby. Maybe someday. Do you want them to? I thought about it honestly. Part of me does. But the other part of me realizes that I don't need them to. We're okay without them. More than okay. She nodded thoughtfully. I love you, Mummy. Thanks for always being there. I love you too, Emma. Always and forever. That's a promise I'll never break. As I closed her door and walked back to the living room, I caught my reflection in the hallway mirror. I looked different somehow. Lighter. The constant tension I'd carried for years, trying to be enough, do enough, prove enough, was gone. I thought about that $1 I'd sent Jessica. Some people had called it petty. My family certainly thought so. But for me, it was something else entirely. It was the price of my freedom. $1 to show them exactly what their support had been worth to me and Emma. $1 to draw a line in the sand and say, no more. $1 to choose my daughter over their dysfunction. Best dollar I ever spent. I made myself a cup of tea and settled onto the couch, pulling out a book Emma and I were reading together. Tomorrow, we had ballet practice. This weekend, we were going to try that new Vietnamese restaurant Emma had been curious about. Next month, my new role would officially start. Life was full. Not perfect, not without challenges, but full of genuine love and peace. My phone buzzed a text from Patricia. Wanted to let you know. They've officially withdrawn the grandparents' rights claim. This is over. You can breathe easy. I smiled, typing back. Thank you for everything. We're good now. Really good. And we were. Emma and I were building exactly the life we wanted, surrounded by people who genuinely cared about us, her teachers, her friends' parents, my colleagues, Patricia. A chosen family that showed up, that celebrated us, that made us feel valued. Sometimes the crack is what lets the light in. My family's rejection had cracked me wide open, but through that crack came clarity, strength, and the courage to choose better for my daughter. Emma didn't need grandparents who treated her like an obligation. She didn't need an aunt who couldn't spare an hour but expected thousands of dollars. She needed what she already had. A mother who would move heaven and earth for her, who would always show up, who valued her above everything else. And I didn't need their approval anymore. I didn't need to prove myself worthy of love that should have been freely given. I just needed to be present for the tiny human sleeping down the hall, the one who thought I hung the moon and stars. That was enough. More than enough. It was everything.